Okay guys, welcome back to the second part of the BGA chips bases, taking them off, taking the gold, trying to recover the gold. So as you can see, I am just cleaning them off from this milky solution, and I haven't uploaded the other video yet, but I just wanted to start this one, and as I say, we can learn as we go along. But I just want to show you there, you can see the gold is there, it's just covered with a residue, so that's probably copper or tin or something coming out of solution and just going back onto the boards, cementing itself back onto the boards. So if you rub it, you'll see you can get the gold to start to come through. So hopefully the next batch, when I put it into the hydrochloric acid and the copper chloride, it'll be copper chloride in full, it'll start to get rid of all that base materials that had come back out and cemented onto the board. So my plan here this time is, I have some copper chloride that's left over from previous batches of stuff I was doing, so I'm going to use all that up and make sure I'm going to put these in and just try and clear as much of the tin or any of that sort of base metals that may have come back out of solution and onto the boards, to try and clear that off before I start using a lot of fresh hydrochloric acid to make a new batch of copper chloride. So I'm going to try, and you can see there, like you can see the gold trying to pierce its way through. So it's like it's something that's cemented itself over them. So hopefully this doesn't turn into a total disaster on me, but I'm just clearing off as much as I can, just wiping it off, and you know, so I'm going to carry on that, and then you can come back once I have cleared these off, and we'll get ready to put them into the copper chloride again. So you can see there the gold is underneath there. It's covered in some sort of base metals, and that's my thoughts on it anyhow, that's what's there. So hopefully it's nothing more serious than that. So come back once you'll be back in a second once I've cleared these all off and we're ready to add the copper chloride and a small bit of fresh hydrochloric acid. Okay guys, so everything is now redone. Pipe is in for the air. They are back in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of scoops of some copper chloride that I haven't used up yet fully. So I'm going to put a couple of scoops of that, and I'm going to add some fresh hydrochloric acid to it, and that should hopefully get rid of any more of them base metals that are still there that haven't been gone, so just to leave the gold. So any tin or anything like that that's still there, and I'll put another little scoop just to cover it, because this was still, I don't think this was fully saturated, so hopefully this will go to work in there. And I might as well put another little scoop. Okay, and then we're going to get some hydrochloric acid. Sorry about the movement of the camera, it's just I'm standing behind it and leaning over it. So hopefully that's enough to get going again. We'll switch on the pump and we'll let that work away, and hopefully this time this should clear off anything, and then what I can do, what's left, then I'll put into a fresh batch of hydrochloric acid, and there's just a little bit of copper chloride to make it again fresh as can be. So I'm going to let this run for a couple of days, and hopefully this will this time start to eat away all that copper, and we'll end up with just our gold flakes. So we'll check back in a couple of days and see how we got on. Okay, so it's been a few days since I put the last batch in again, or sorry, since I started the second time doing that BGA chips. So as I say, you'll have seen in the first video I was left with that gunk and stuff like that. Having done a bit of research and talked to a few people, that there is more than likely tin and lead, possibly a little bit of silver, but mostly tin and lead from the solder balls underneath. So I was right, they're what caused the problem. So because there was so much solder left on it. I should have scraped more of it off, or put it into put it into hydrochloric acid at the beginning, just to get rid of them before I put it into the copper chloride. I've been left with that stuff, so there's a little bit of silver probably in that, so I'll hold on to that, and I might look at processing the silver out of it at some stage. So what I've done now is I've left that a few days. There is some gold flakes, very, very minute gold starting to come off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to filter that. I'm going to put in fresh hydrochloric acid, a little bit of copper chloride, and get the whole process going again, because I think I don't want to saturate it out too much again, and I want to put some fresh stuff in, and I can use it again for another process anyhow. So I'm going to start filtering that out. So again, it's just straightforward here, and just filter it into my filters, because I plan on using this old copper chloride for another video at some stage. You'll see where I'm going to use some of the older stuff to try and get out the last of gold flakes from other stuff that's very uneconomical, really, to be using fresh stuff on it all the time. So I have another filter over here that you can't see on the camera that I've just got going as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it there, and when these are all filtered, we'll come back and we'll have a look and see how we got on with how much gold flakes in there. They're going to be very, very minute, very small, but it's gold at the end of the day. So I'll see you in a few minutes, guys. Okay guys, so I've been filtering away there, and I just wanted to show you some of the gold. So essentially we'll just start pouring some of this in, and you'll see so you can see the gold floating around inside of there. So I just wanted to show you, it is very, if I zoom out a bit you might get a better view of it. Sorry about the lighting reflecting down on top of it, but I can't help that. I need to have some light in here. But you can see there that the gold is floating around inside of that. So I'll just let that work away over there, and I'll put more in a minute. I just want to show you this. So this, guys, is the actual what's left. So there is still gold on them, but you can see here, if I rub it, it comes off. So it has loosened up most of it, so these will probably have to be washed off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into some fresh hydrochloric just to make sure we get it all off. So you can see here again, so you can see it has come off. I'll just dip that in there, get rid of it. But it has loosened it all up, so it's worked essentially there. Again, this pad that I put in just to test it out, do you remember I said I was going to put in a finger pad? So you can see there all the gold has come off that, completely removed it from it. So again, that's perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter that, continue filtering it out, any more of the liquid that's in here, get it all out, and put in fresh hydrochloric acid, which you can come back and have a watch when I'm doing it, and we'll go from there. But I just wanted to show you that there is gold in there, so it is working. So it hasn't, that other video wasn't a complete fail. It frightened me first. I thought, what had I done wrong? But it was just because I did not clean off I missed a step of cleaning off the solder from the boards first, to make sure there was no solder balls left on the bottom of it, which had the tin, the lead, a bit of silver. So I say that mud that I'm left with is going to have some of the silver in it, I hope, and again some of the liquid at some stage, which I will be dropping out any of the all the stuff to rework with all that waste material before I neutralise it fully. So there's different stages I'll go through to get out the copper, get out the, well, start off by getting out the gold and then getting the silver out. Then I'll drop the copper out, I'll drop the iron out of it, and eventually we end up with water, more or less, that we can just dispose of properly. But you want to make sure you get all the heavy metals out of it before you just dump it down drains or anything like that. So anyhow, I digress. So we'll move on to, we'll come back and when it's all fully filtered and we're ready to go with the next bit. Okay, so all the filtering is done, and I'm just going to put on a fresh batch of hydrochloric acid into this, and then we're going to just let that run for another couple of days, and then we'll be ready to wash off whatever gold comes off, because just to make sure that we get all that so that's the fresh stuff in, and to kick it on the way is a little bit more of the copper chloride to get it going again. Okay, so that should be sufficient. You can see gold actually floating around already, so I'll get that back into the bubbler and we'll get it going. I just want to show you this. You can see here on the actual container that I'm using to just pour out, you can see the actual gold still left in here, so I'll wash that out, get that through the filters as well, the last few bits of the gold there, and my filters are nearly done there. Sorry, should be wearing my mask. Take a step back a bit. So you can see the gold in there in the filter, so just let that carry on. Get this back outside and get into the bubbler. And we'll see how it is in a couple of days. Should be ready to wash off. Okay guys, so we're ready to do the next stage of the filtering. So that was from the fresh batch of HCl and copper chloride. So I want to address something before I go any further. Is I was called out on one of my videos, and I was correctly called out for not wearing my respirator. I do have it, and I was just lazy and I didn't put it on one of the videos. So I'm going to be putting it on for the rest of this video. Anytime I'm inside, I'll try and wear it. Sometimes I do forget when I'm doing videos, because I'd have the hood on and then I turn the hood off when I'm doing the video so the sound can be heard better. And I'll move this out from under the hood, and people call me out for forgetting to put on my mask, and they're rightly so. Always wear your safety gear. So, mask going on. Give me a second there, guys, to put on the respirator. Make sure you've got the correct filters as well, so that it does take out the fumes from the hydrochloric acid. So again, all I'm going to do is filter this out, so it's just going to be straightforward. I'll just move it a bit to the side there, get one of the filters ready. So you can see here already there's gold in the bottom of this already from when I filtered the last batch. So I've just left the filter there, I haven't gone near it, and I'll just start the next batch of filtering. So we'll put that down to the side. And we'll just, so this time I can see a lot more flakes of gold, and so the fresh hydrochloric acid made an awful difference. They quickened up the process so much. So we'll leave that there for a second. I see a filter fell in, need to get that out. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to filter all this out, guys. So we'll come back once I have that filtered, and we'll see how we progressed and what needs to be done with the rest. So you don't need to see me watching this. Again guys, always remember, respirator on when dealing with this sort of stuff. Don't do the same as me. Just because I forgot doesn't mean it's an excuse for someone else not to do it. So if you're messing with this stuff, put your respirator on. Okay guys, so while that is filtering, I move on to my next part, which is, these are left here, and as you can see there's still bits of gold stuck to them and stuff like that. So as you can see there's gold there, but if I rub my finger on it, it comes off straight away. So that next stage is to clean them down. So it's just to wash the gold down off them. with distilled water. So as you can see now, gold is gone. So that's that one done, and then I move on to the next one. So any of them that are done, I'll throw them into one container. Any of them that still have gold on them, I'll keep and I'll put in with another batch the next time I'm doing the next batch. So it's just a matter of washing down the gold off them. So again, you just spray them down. You can see there, gold has fallen off. Just spray the back in case there's any gold on the back. And I'll just do that with them all. And then we should be left with water, with just distilled water, a bit of copper chloride in it, and that should just need to be washed out or filtered out, and then we can see what we ended up with in the whole lot. We can have a look and see was there much gold in these and how many of them have to be redone and stuff like that. So it is a bit of a process to get to it, and if in the first video, if I hadn't made the mistake of not clearing off the solder balls first, off the back of them, so you can see we'd say where all the solder balls were attached to them. There on the back, you can see the tracks where they were. All that used up my acid first. Instead of it eating away the copper, it ate away them first. So that was where the issue was on that first video, and I presumed it was that, but I just had to double check with a few people. So all the people that commented, thanks for the advice. Yes, it's a lesson learned. Don't try and skip a step to try and think you have enough acid in there. If I put more hydrochloric acid in, it would have just solved it anyhow. But I decided to redo a clean batch, and that way then at least I know it's only working on the gold only. So come back to me in a few minutes, guys. Well, it'll be instantly for you when I have all these washed off, and we'll see what's floating around in the water, and we'll be getting ready to filter them. Okay guys, so I'm inside now, just about finishing up. Just give me a second until I lower down Snobby Scrap Picker. He's live at the moment. I've been watching him, but I haven't been able to partake yet while I was finishing this. So we'll just lower him down and we'll put him back on again in a few minutes. So what have I done? As you can see in the bottom here, you can see the gold is there from where I washed all of these off with distilled water. So they're completely cleaned off now. There's no more gold flakes left on them. Any that had still gold flakes and wouldn't wash off, I've left things. So just to show you what I was doing, we'll zoom in a bit, move that back out there so you can see. So you can see the gold actually in there in the bottom on them. So all I was doing was, you can see the gold here, just get the water and wash it down into the bottom of this. So it's straightforward, nothing too complicated, and anywhere I see gold left, it's washed down into it. So again, there's two stuck together, so just do the back side as well. So again, quick spray, and that way then completely gone. So these have already been soaking in water and washed, so there's no acid left on them. And then this final spray then, just to, so you can see there all them gold bits and pieces. So just spray, because the acid has done its work, and they just wash off. And then we check the back side, and you can see there's some bits of gold here and a few bits there. So again, just wash them off. And then there's a little bit left there. So and that doesn't want to come off, whatever it is. It's just a bit of writing actually. So that may need to go back in to get that last bit off, but whether it's worth it or not is your decision. So we get the next one up. I just have these last four, and so you can see again gold are on there. So if a lot of them weren't like this, there were less gold on them. This ones have a bit more. So it's just a matter of washing off all that gold that you can see. And again, do the reverse, and that's it. So just throw that in. And now the last one of them before we have to go filtering all that water out. So again, seems to be a lot, well, not a lot, but it's very thin, but there's a nice covering of it there. So again, you'll see that washing off and down into the water. So it can be a bit boring and tedious, but when you get to see the gold down the bottom here, it makes it all worthwhile. So a little bit left there. There we go. So down here in the bottom then, when I stir it up, you can see all that gold moving around like a little globe, a little gold globe, snow globe, gold globe. So I'll filter that out, guys, with the rest of it, and we'll have a look and see what we ended up with. Okay guys, so finally have dried out the filters and taken the gold foils from them. So as you can see, there's still a few little bits of gold foils in there, but that'll be dealt with in another video when I'm dealing with all my filters that I let build up over the couple of years. I've let them build up and then I deal with them, because they're not worth dealing with in small amounts, because there's only a little bit of gold on each one of them. So it's just to get the best value, I just let them build up. So I'm sure there'll be a video coming at some stage, so you can see still little bits of gold in there. Can't really see it on that one. I'm just seeing this. I might have got most of it off. No, you can see on here. So if you look closely, there's still some gold flakes in around this one, but as it dries out even more, they'll probably come off and end up in that anyhow. So what did I end up with after that first attempt, where I thought I may have failed? We did end up with some gold, as you will have seen from the rest of the video up to now. But what do we end up with? It's very fine gold, a lot of it, but there it is. So that'll move on to the next stage, which is into aqua regia, but I'll save that up until I get more of it, because as I said already in previous videos, I'll be using this to help neutralize some of the nitric that I have in some other aqua regias that I've already got running. And now that I have my outdoor work area sorted, which you will have seen from a short video that was up a while back, it means I'll be able to start making my own nitric. I want to do some of the stuff outside, and when the weather has improved, it means during the summer I'll be able to do hopefully a lot more gold processing outside rather than in the shed, because especially my hood isn't up to standard as I'd like it to be. It's older, the acid has got to it by this stage, so to be able to do it outside will be brilliant. So guys, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for anyone that has liked, anyone that does subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate them. I don't, I hope that they subscribe and enjoy the content, and hopefully they can see how I get some little bits of gold here and there. Sometimes it can be a bit longer than I'd like it to be, or maybe sometimes things can kind of go wrong, but when you see this gold here, even though it's not fully purified yet, it does make it all worthwhile. Well, for me anyhow, I don't know about everyone else. So put that away, and that'll be added to more and more and more, and hopefully we'll get a nice amount of the flakes built up and then get all that thing. So guys, as I already say, thanks for watching, and really do appreciate you giving up your time, and hopefully catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.